I absolutely love when men think that they can make a free request of me. Like 2 weeks ago, I was playing pool, and this guy comes over. He's like, "Oh, can I play with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for $1,000." And he's like, "Why on earth would I pay you $1,000 to simply play pool with you?" And I was like, "Because I'm a 9-time reigning champ."
Liar!
Men are like, "Oh, can I ask you a question? Or can I ask you a personal question?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, $500. And they're just so, they're so confused, and it honestly makes them so angry that they shoo themselves away.
Well, you see, guys, women nowadays are asking $500 if you want to ask them a question, $1,000 if you want to play pool with them, and I'm only asking for $5 to join my Patreon. But gentlemen, how are you all doing? I hope that you're all fine. In case you missed yesterday's video, I have opened a Patreon. If you join now for the price of 1/15th of an overpriced Starbucks coffee, you can already check my video, my backstory, and many more things to come. But now, without further ado, gentlemen, let's get started with the video, as Ampu is already hiding in fear at the prospect of watching this woman again. But let's have a listen, guys.
I absolutely love when men think that they can make a free request of me. Like 2 weeks ago, I was playing pool, and this guy comes over. He's like, "Oh, can I play with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for $1,000. And he's like, "Why on earth would I pay you $1,000 to simply play pool with you?" And I was like, "Because I'm a 9-time reigning champ." Lies, of course. But he believed it. And he was just like, "Can we like both put up 1,000? And like whoever wins takes it?" And I was like, "For what? I don't need to do that. This is my job."
Getting cold feet, eh? Why didn't you bet $1,000? So supposedly you are a reigning champion, yet you wouldn't bet $1,000? Pretty insecure if you ask me, guys. The guy will probably steamroll her.
"If you want to play with me, it's going to cost you $1,000. And guess what? He left me alone. You see? You see how it works? Do you see? Are you getting what I'm putting down? Okay?
Guys, what she's putting down is dying alone. Right? Like, men go out there with their best intentions. Well, maybe they just want to hook up. I don't know. But let's say that some of them may have the best intentions at heart. They found you attractive for some reason I cannot comprehend, and they wanted to play a game with you. Yet you dismiss them in this very, I don't know, disgusting manner. Anyway, they're just... This is what I mean, guys, when I say you cannot save these women. Even if you tried, even if you wanted to, no, it's over. That's what they want.
There's also oftentimes when men are like, "Oh, can I ask you a question? Or can I ask you a personal question?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, $500. And they're just so... they're so confused, and it honestly makes them so angry that they shoo themselves away. You know what
No, angry is not the word. Disgusted is the word. Nobody's angry. Why will they be angry? Again, women are always trying to put men as, "Oh, I hurt their ego." When they say that, in like 99% of the cases, men couldn't care less. You cannot pay them to care. No, they don't care about you, madam. And to say that they are angry, no, they're like, what the hell? Who do you think you are? They probably think you are insane, which could be absolutely the case.
I'm saying? And I absolutely love that. And for those of y'all who have been a long time followers of me, you also know that I pull the lieutenant card often. If someone's being bothersome, especially a man, I tell them, "Please stop. I'm a lieutenant. And I'm overworked and I'm stressed out, and you're making me want to pull out my badge." And they leave. Ask for money. That's the first thing. That's the first thing. Or just say you were higher up in some type of ridiculous career or something like that. They'll get intimidated or they'll get scared, and then they'll just run off.
Intimidated. They'll get... It's so funny. They'll get scared and run off, guys. They literally throw their hands in the air and run off, crying, "Mommy, please come get me." Apparently, according to her. A lieutenant, guys, come on. Who buys that? This woman looks like she's 5'2". A lieutenant, guys, get out of here, man. Nobody buys that. They probably get off thinking that you are clinically insane and you're making up these stories in your mind. They're quite concerned, to be honest. I won't neglect that. But going back to the point, these women, guys, they hit the wall so hard, and they want to hit it. You know, I tell you, these women that end up single, in most of the cases, guys, they've done everything possible under the sun to stay single. Later they complain about where all the good men, but they on a daily basis train very, very hard to become single. If they will put that much effort into any sport, they will become a professional at a national level. You know what I mean? If they put the same energy into a sport, for example. But instead they put it into becoming massive harpies, massive witches that nobody can tolerate, and they call that intimidation. It's not intimidation, madam. People don't want to deal with you for 2 minutes. But before we move on to our next video, guys, the next TikTok, the reason why I know this woman will pass away alone is because love and relationships are all about giving to other people. They're not about yourself. So this is how I know these people are incapable of thinking about others or thinking about being positive. Even if there are no romantic intentions, just being a nice person to be around, they're incapable of that. And they're parasites, And I don't mean that in a way, to try to mock them. No, they are parasites. They are predators looking for someone to leech off. And I remember when I was little, I used to see like crocodiles have these birds, on top of them, or sharks have these little fish swimming around them. And I wondered, why don't they eat them, Why doesn't the crocodile eat the birds or the shark eat fish? And it's because they are in a symbiosis. There are these specific breeds of birds and fish that help these animals, these predators that are on top of the food chain, stay clean, because the crocodile can't clean himself in that way. So it's a symbiosis, Even though the shark may be angry, not angry, hungry, it will never eat these little fish, right? So the comparison I'm drawing is these women, they are absolute predators. They cannot comprehend, they cannot begin to understand what relationships are about, a symbiosis, you caring about other people, you doing something about other people. They are absolutely predatorial. They will take any chance they have at leeching off of others. They can only think about themselves, and what benefits them. So if there were the sharks in this example, they will eat those little fish that are there to help them, and then they will be all alone and pass away due to an infection or something, which probably was going to happen to these women. But gentlemen, enough with my wild comparisons. Let's move on to our next TikTok. And we've covered this woman, by the way. She's dated like, what was it, 400 guys? Let's have a listen.
Have you noticed in dating how men never officially end things? In my 21 years of dating men, only one man has ever messaged me and said that he didn't want to see me again. The rest of them just ghost you, breadcrumb you, or just fob you off. And straight.
What does that tell you, guys? In my 21 mother-loving years of dating, all men but one have ghosted her. What does that tell you? It's just crazy. These women don't realize they're making the arguments against themselves.
And string you along. It was a guy I met at vegan speed dating. We went on a date, and then a couple of days later he messaged me and was like, oh, I had such a lovely time with you, but I'm dating someone else and I want to take things further with them, so I don't want to see other people. And I was like, thank you so much for letting me know. I wish you guys all the best. But there ain't many men out there doing that. I think it's for a few reasons. One, they don't want to ever officially close the door on you because they want to be able to circle back around, and they want...
That's actually true. A lot of these women say, oh, men always come back, wearing it as a badge of honor. It's not something to be proud of. The reason they come back is because you're a free sample. They want another,
to pop back up, which it will be hard for them to do if they have officially shut things down and said they don't want you. Two, a lot of men have no balls, and I think they're scared of confrontation. Most women I know would not react badly if a man said they didn't want to see them again. Some might, but the majority of women would not. They'd just say thanks and walk away with some dignity. And then the third reason is that they just have no respect. and no empathy, and just can't even be asked to tell you that they don't want to see you again, and they don't even feel like they owe you that, so they just don't bother saying anything. There's a lot to be said for a nice message just letting someone down gently.
So there's this point again, guys. Men are scared. Confrontation. Again, those words, man. I've come to hate the men are intimidated. Holy Lord, they are not intimidated. It's just if they tell you that they see you as a bag of skin and bones and they just want to pump and dump you, you're not gonna spread your legs then. It's the whole reason. That's only what they want. Take a look at this one guy who decided to actually tell her something. And what did he tell her? He told her, I'm pursuing a relationship with someone else and I don't want to be with you anymore. So he only wanted her for S3X. And now that he has found someone that is actually worth dating, he has committed to them. So what does that tell you, madam? It's not good for a relationship, all right? All of the men that have been using you, dating you for the last 21 years, all of them only saw you as a somewhat better enhanced version of an S3X doll, right? So what does that tell you? That that's how you market yourself. That's your price. You're not worth anything more. Not because I say so, no, because that's what you have chosen for your life. So assume the consequences, assume that you are 3 or 4, and that's that. Stop calling men insecure, afraid of confrontation. They're not afraid, holy hell. But guys, let's move on to our final TikTok of the day. And then we'll move on to a Reddit story in which a woman gets dumped.
Do you like him? Or does he just not seem to care whether or not you live or die? No, I'm actually not done. Are you sure you're in love with him? Or do you just think that there's a chance you could convince him to care whether or not you live or die, given enough time? Just one second more. Do you like him? Or do you think that by repeating your cycles of trauma from your childhood with emotionally absent parents, you will somehow be able to wrap it up and get closure this time by transitioning someone's apathy toward your existence into deep, tender love and affection that you missed as a child and have been chasing ever since? Do you like him? Or do you think there's a chance he can fix you? Oh, honey, it's just a question. I mean, I'm just asking. I'm just asking.
Now, to be honest, guys, I don't know if you paid attention. This is one of the very few times I absolutely blacked out. Like, I was thinking about other things, just this whole word salad, this whole trying to rationalize the bad choices. Now, I remember this TikTok because I selected it, of course. I picked it. And so I remember, you know, the things she mentioned. But look, nobody cares about your personal trauma, at least not more than we care about anyone else's personal trauma, right? You're not a special snowflake. You're not a victim, like a special individual. Everybody has gone through childhood trauma. Everybody has gone through bad situations in their life. You know, we all are scarred. So just deal with it. Stop crying. Stop trying to rationalize the way you are because of what has happened to you in the past. Because it's a dishonor to all the women that have had childhood trauma, yet they've managed to make it work. You know, guys, like, this is like someone who is a robber, a thief, a murderer, telling, oh, well, I had a problematic childhood, so that's how I am. That's not an excuse. No, nobody cares. We sympathize until the point where you start hurting others. You know, so it's the same thing. Everybody has went, but this woman has went, and this whole thing is not a way to, it's, you know, exchange. Oh, I've had childhood trauma, so now I can pursue a child for the next 30 years. No, stop victimizing yourself. Grab your life in both hands. Try to make it work. Try to find help, and try to not make the same choices of men over and over again. But gentlemen, let's move on to our article story. It's on topic for today's video. The title reads, "Told the guy I'm seeing I think I love him." Guy I'm seeing. Who's that, guys? Her boyfriend? No? A guy she's seeing. Alright. So I guess it's not her husband or her boyfriend, or there's not any way a commitment there. The guy I'm seeing. Guys, can you imagine your daughter coming to you and saying, this guy I've been seeing for the last 7 months. Holy hell. I don't really want advice, I just need to vent. Exactly what the title says. I just told the guy I'm seeing that I think I love him and I'm falling for him. I regretted it instantly. I cried. I told him in bed, not while doing the deed, but when we were cuddling. So this is after the deed. So we have the usual situation, you know, this Chad, one of his side dishes, goes to pump and dump her on a Tuesday because he didn't have any other plans. But this woman, guys, is a hopeless romantic, and she couldn't help it, you know. She's a romantic, guys. She always ends up loving those people because, you know, she's so focused on others and sharing, spreading the love after 4 months of uncommitted S3X. I continue now. I was already nervous telling him, but I couldn't hold it in and I needed it out. That's what she said. Anyway. Guys, I'm laughing at my own jokes. Like, how bad is that? Please like and subscribe so I can afford my therapy sessions. I wasn't expecting anything in return. I don't know what I was expecting. If I'm being honest, you were expecting for that chat that is way out of your league, that never showed any interest in you, to commit. For some reason, for some inexplicable reason, you expected that man who didn't make a move for potentially months to, you know, decide to be part of a relationship with you. I just knew I couldn't hold it in any longer. Probably like 10 minutes later, he says, I think I should get... Sorry, guys. This is so funny. Probably like 10 minutes later, he says, I think I should get going soon. What a cold response. He just couldn't care less, guys. There's not a paycheck big enough on this world to make this man give a crap about this woman. Well, if that wasn't a punch in the tit, I don't know what was. I want to retract everything I said and not want to live this again. So, this guy just banged her. And they're cuddling. And she's like, oh, I love you. And he keeps silence for 10 minutes. And after that he says, well, I better get going. Hilarious, guys. How many people watch my videos? Like 5,000 on average per video. Mostly men. I can assure you guys, out of these 5,000 or so men, most of you in this very situation will at least care to provide any sort of answer, or maybe try to explain your feelings, maybe say, maybe give an excuse at least, but try to, you know, not hurt the woman's feelings, like, well, I don't see us going anywhere, or the usual, you know, oh, I think I'm not ready for commitment. Most men will care in any capacity for this woman's feelings. This Chad over here, he keeps silent for 10 minutes, and then, oh, I better get going soon. These are the type of men that these women are dating. And now she'll try to act as if this was as if this blindsided her, you know, like, oh, how cool have I known? Oh, I thought we were going to marry, but he did a 180. No, guys, it's so painfully obvious from 10 miles away that these chads don't care about them. They only view them as a piece of meat, and these women accept the terms and conditions. They say, yes, I want to be a piece of meat, just as long as you pay me some attention. But that attention is never enough. They are okay to share chat with like 15 other women for the first few months, but then they want more. You know, they try their luck. They try to they try to shop out of their price range, and this is how it ends. Like, these guys don't care enough to even give the dumbest excuse, like, oh, I'm not ready for a relationship. You're too good for me. They're not even willing to do that. They just don't care at all. So, she's not willing to live through this again. All right, don't date the same type of men again. It's that easy, but you won't do that. Because these modern women, guys, are addicted to anxiety. But gentlemen, thank you for watching them. I've had a good laugh reading this story. So thank you for making Ampus Day better. Subscribe on my Patreon if you want to support the channel, and if you want to make this mommy happy. And guys, I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.